You sit in stillness, and around you are companions who do not move as you do, who do not speak in words, who do not clamor for attention. They are the trees, leaning quietly in the wind, the grasses bending beneath your feet, the moss carpeting stones with soft green. They are silent, yet they are alive, present, and endlessly patient. It is easy to forget them. Their rhythms are slow, their gestures small. A leaf unfurls so gradually you do not notice its movement until the day is done. A bud opens over nights and mornings, soft and unhurried. Roots stretch beneath the soil without sound, branching in dark pathways you cannot see. Their time is longer, their language quieter. Yet though they whisper instead of shout, their presence shapes your life entirely. Breathe slowly. Inhale the air they have made for you. Exhale your gratitude into their waiting leaves. You live because they endure. Plants are alchemists, turning light into life. With the green pigment chlorophyll, they capture sunlight and fold it into sugars, weaving food from photons and carbon dioxide. Each blade of grass, each leaf on every branch, is a workshop of quiet creation. You cannot see the work, but you breathe its result. Oxygen fills your lungs because plants release it, gift after gift, breath after breath. Imagine sitting beneath a tree. Its trunk is rough, its canopy wide. Though it seems motionless, every leaf is a laboratory, pulling in carbon, releasing air, shaping the atmosphere. The tree does not announce its generosity. It simply gives. Its silence is abundance. Pause here. Inhale the gift of oxygen. Exhale into the circle that returns to the tree. You are part of its breath, as it is part of yours. Grasses, too, are silent companions. They grow beneath your feet, bending without protest when stepped upon, rising again when the pressure lifts. They feed not only you, but the creatures you depend on. Herds graze because grasses endure. Fields wave in the wind because roots anchor them deep, binding soil, holding earth together. Their presence is humble, yet their gift is immense. Mosses creep quietly across stone, slow and steady. They thrive in shade, in dampness, in places too harsh for taller plants. They are pioneers, softening rock into soil over centuries, preparing the way for forests. Their softness hides their strength. You might overlook them, yet they are builders of worlds, caretakers of beginnings. Breathe again. Inhale the humility of moss. Exhale the endurance of grass. Every green thing is part of your story. Plants do not chase as animals do. They remain rooted, yet they are never still. Their roots seek water in hidden places, stretching like searching hands. Their leaves tilt toward the sun, following its arc across the sky. Their flowers open and close with the rhythm of day and night. Though their gestures are slower than your eyes can track, they are movements nonetheless, dances of survival performed without sound. Science reveals their hidden intelligence. Roots sense gravity and grow downward. Stems sense light and grow upward. Leaves adjust their angles to maximize the harvest of photons. Some plants release signals into the air when grazed, warning neighbors of danger. Others secrete chemicals into the soil, shaping the community of roots around them. Their patience is not passivity. It is strategy, honed by time, longer than your species can remember. Pause here. Inhale the strategy hidden in silence. Exhale the respect it calls forth. Stillness can hold wisdom. Their companionship extends to your body. The food you eat, whether grain or fruit, whether leaf or root, comes from plants. Even meat carries their imprint, for animals eat plants first. All nourishment begins with green. All energy in your body, all warmth in your movement, was once sunlight caught in a leaf. When you take a bite of bread, a sip of tea, or a spoonful of rice, you are eating the sun translated through the patience of plants. Imagine a single apple in your hand. Its sweetness is not simple. It is months of work, branches catching light, leaves weaving sugars, roots drinking rain. Each bite is the story of air, water, light, and time gathered silently into fruit. The apple does not tell you this story. It offers itself freely, letting you carry its mystery into your body. Breathe slowly. Inhale the sweetness of fruit. Exhale the gratitude of receiving. Each meal is a quiet partnership with plants, and so the plants around you are not background. They are companions. They do not speak, yet they listen. They do not walk, yet they travel through time with you. They do not hurry, yet they endure, season after season, cycle after cycle. In their patience, they teach you something your hurried life often forgets, that presence does not require speed, and that silence does not mean absence. Think of the forest. It does not cry for attention, yet it shapes the air you breathe, the water you drink, the climate you live in. Think of the field. It does not demand recognition, yet it sustains animals, soil, and sky. Think of the single houseplant in a window. It does not call your name, yet it softens your air, calms your mind, brightens your space. Plants give without asking, companions in every breath you take. Pause one last time. Inhale the patience of trees. Exhale the gift of grasses and moss. You are not alone. You are surrounded. As you rest tonight, you carry this reflection. Plants are silent, but their silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. Their stillness is not inactivity. It is labor, endurance, generosity. They are companions, not by movement, but by presence. You are stitched to them in every breath, every meal, every glance at green. Their patience holds you. Their silence carries you. You rest tonight in the company of the silent companions, knowing that they shape your life more gently than words ever could. You sit quietly beneath a tree, its branches spread wide, its leaves trembling softly in the breeze. At first glance, the leaves seem still, their surfaces only reflecting green light and shadow. But within them, invisible to your eyes, is one of the most profound rhythms of the earth: photosynthesis. Each leaf is a lung, drinking in sunlight, drawing in carbon dioxide, and exhaling oxygen. The rhythm is slow, silent, and steady, yet it shapes the air you breathe with every moment. Close your eyes and imagine this exchange. You inhale, and the air enters your lungs, filling with oxygen made by leaves. You exhale, releasing carbon dioxide, and the trees accept it. You and the leaves are partners, sharing the same circle, breathing in and out together. Breathe slowly. Inhale the gift of oxygen. Exhale the offering of carbon. You are never alone in this rhythm. Photosynthesis is simple in words, yet miraculous in meaning. Sunlight strikes the surface of a leaf, and within its green cells, chlorophyll captures the energy. Water drawn from the soil is split apart, hydrogen saved, oxygen set free. Carbon dioxide from the air is reshaped, stitched into sugars that feed the tree and, in time, everything that depends on it. From light and air, the leaf builds food. From this process, your own breath and nourishment are born. Imagine a leaf as a small workshop of alchemy. Sunlight streams in as raw material, invisible energy carried across space. Molecules of air slip gently into the leaf through tiny pores like open mouths. Water flows upward from roots far below, drawn by unseen hands. Within the leaf, all of these meet, and in silence, the impossible becomes natural. Light becomes life. Pause here. Inhale the sun folded into air. Exhale the sweetness of unseen sugars. You are surrounded by quiet miracles. Every forest is a vast set of lungs. Every tree, every blade of grass, every tendril of moss breathes the same rhythm. Together they exhale into the world, filling it with oxygen that drifts into every breath you take. You carry the forest within you, just as the forest carries you. Your lungs and the leaves are not separate, they are mirrors of one another, each exhaling what the other requires. Think of this when you walk outside, when you step onto grass, when you sit beneath a canopy. The air entering your chest is a gift handed to you, second by the silent patience of leaves. And the air leaving you is not lost, it is carried back, woven again into the cycle, breathed by roots and branches, remade into sugar and growth. Breathe again. Inhale the generosity of the trees. Exhale your own quiet gift. You are bound together in one breath. The rhythm extends further than your lungs. The food on your table, no matter its form, traces back to leaves. Fruits are swollen stores of sugars, first woven in chlorophyll's embrace. Grains, rice, wheat, cornall, are seeds fattened by photosynthesis. Even the energy in meat carries the memory of leaves. For animals eat plants first, and the sun's light is passed on through their bodies. Your body itself is sunlight turned solid, light woven into flesh by the breath of leaves. Pause once more. Inhale the memory of sunlight. Exhale the truth of your own being. You are, in essence, green energy transformed. Science sees the chemical pathways, photons, exciting electrons, molecules rearranging into new shapes, energy flowing through chloroplasts. Yet beyond the details lies poetry. The sun, distant and immense, pours its light into space. That light touches earth, and leaves catch it, fold it, slow it down into matter. Without leaves, the sun's fire would remain unreachable, too fierce to hold. With leaves, the fire is softened, translated into food, oxygen, and breath. Imagine the earth, covered in countless green hands, all reaching up, all catching the sun's fire, all turning it into nourishment. You live not apart from this process, but within it. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every thought you think is powered by this alchemy. Breathe gently. Inhale the sun's fire tamed. Exhale the strength it gives you. Leaves are not endless. They fall in autumn. They wither in drought. They curl in frost. Yet the rhythm continues, season after season. In spring, buds open and begin again. The earth renews its lungs, and the cycle breathes on. You, too, live in rhythms of growth and release, of fullness and letting go. The breath of leaves is also a reminder. Life does not cling to permanence. It thrives in cycles, in giving and receiving, in falling and returning. Pause with this thought. Inhale the renewal. Exhale the letting go. You are not outside of the cycle. You are inside it. As you rest tonight, imagine yourself lying beneath a great tree. Its leaves rustle softly above each one, a lung exhaling into your breath. The air is thick with oxygen, filled with the invisible gift of photosynthesis. You breathe in, and the tree's life becomes your life. You breathe out, and your life becomes the tree's. No words pass between you. No contracts are signed, and yet the bond is absolute. You and the tree share the same rhythm of existence. Breathe one final time with this vision. Inhale the tree's gift. Exhale your offering in return. And as you close this chapter, you carry a reflection. Leaves do not simply decorate the world. They breathe with you, for you, and through you. Their alchemy turns sunlight into life itself, binding you to the earth in every breath. You rest tonight in the breath of leaves, lungs of the earth, silent companions to your own heartbeat. You walk through a forest, and all you see at first are the trunks and branches, the canopy above, the sunlight streaming down in shafts of gold. The ground beneath your feet feels solid, a carpet of leaves and soil. But what lies below the surface is just as alive, just as important as the green you see above. Beneath your step stretches an invisible world, where roots thread through earth, searching, touching, whispering. Close your eyes and imagine this underground. Roots spread outward from each tree, long pale tendrils pushing through soil, twisting around stones, brushing against the roots of neighbors. Some are thick, anchoring the tree, holding it steady through storms. Others are fine, hair-like, threading into narrow spaces, reaching for droplets of water and grains of nutrient. But roots do more than feed the tree. They listen, they share, they converse. Breathe slowly. Inhale the silence of the soil. Exhale the hum of connection. You are entering the hidden community below. Roots do not exist alone. They meet fungi in the dark, forming partnerships called. The fungi send out threads even finer than roots, weaving through soil like lace, multiplying the reach of the tree. In return, the fungi receive sugar's food the tree creates from sunlight. In this way, tree and fungus live in alliance, each giving, each receiving. The soil becomes a marketplace of generosity. Pause here. Inhale the sharing. Exhale the reciprocity. Nature thrives on partnership. Through this fungal network, messages pass. If a tree is wounded by insects, it releases signals into its roots. Through the fungi, these signals travel to neighbors, warning them of danger. Nearby trees respond by producing defensive chemicals, strengthening themselves before the insects arrive. What seems like silence above is a whispering network below, a forest talking to itself in chemical words. Imagine it, one tree, bitten and bleeding, sending a quiet alarm. Another tree, untouched, preparing itself in response. Threads carry the message, unseen and unbroken, stitching the forest into a single body. Each root, each fungus, each grain of soil is part of the language. Breathe gently. Inhale the alarm carried. Exhale the resilience shared. The forest is not a crowd of individuals, it is a community. This conversation is not only about warnings, it is also about generosity. Large, established trees, with roots deep and wide, often share carbon with seedlings struggling in shade. Through the fungal network, they send food to the young, sustaining them until they are strong enough to reach sunlight. This quiet support ensures the forest endures. No tree thrives entirely alone. Think of this as you rest. The forest is stitched not by competition alone, but by cooperation. Roots and fungi make the soil into a woven net of sharing, where strength supports weakness and survival is collective. Pause once more. Inhale the generosity of the old. Exhale the patience of the young. Growth is always connected. Roots also change the soil itself. They release exudestiny streams of sugars, acids, and chemicals that attract microbes. These microbes, in turn, help free nutrients, digest minerals, and protect the roots from disease. Around each root is a halo of activity, a microbiome as rich and complex as your own. What seems still from above is in fact a storm of conversation, trade, and care below. Imagine yourself small, shrinking until you can wander through this underground city. Around you stretch root highways, fungal threads, clusters of bacteria glowing with chemical life. Messages ripple, nutrients flow, partnerships form and dissolve. The soil is not dead matter. It is alive, pulsing with exchange. Breathe again. Inhale the underground hum. Exhale the living earth. Every step you take above rests on this hidden symphony. The patience of roots teaches you something about time. They grow slowly, spreading year after year, seeking water, seeking partnership. They do not rush, yet they endure. A tree's roots may stretch as far beneath the soil as its branches do above, doubling the reach you see with one you cannot. Some roots intertwine so fully with their neighbors that the forest becomes inseparable. It is not one tree here, another there, but a single organism with many faces. Pause gently. Inhale the patience of roots. Exhale the unity they weave. Beneath separateness lies connection, and this truth reaches into your life as well. You, too, have roots, not of wood or fungus, but of memory, relationship, belonging. You are nourished not only by food and breath, but by ties unseen, family, friends, teachers, ancestors. You are held steady by communities, strengthened by those who came before, entangled with those who walk beside you. Like the forest, you do not stand alone. Your roots reach outward, intertwining, whispering, sharing. Think of the invisible hands that have shaped you, the stories told, the lessons given, the kindness received. Like nutrients through soil, they flow unseen, yet they feed you still. You are stitched into a network of care larger than you can see. Breathe slowly. Inhale your rootedness. Exhale your gratitude. You, too, are part of the underground conversation of life. Roots remind you of resilience. When storms come, a tree may bend, but its roots hold fast, gripping deep, anchoring against the wind. And when drought arrives, roots reach further, seeking water hidden deep in the earth. They do not give up, they adapt, they extend, they endure. So too with you. When life feels harsh, your own roots, your connections, your inner strength hold you steady and reach deeper to find sustenance. Pause one last time. Inhale the strength of the roots. Exhale the patience of survival. You are held even when you cannot see it. As you rest tonight, picture yourself lying at the edge of a forest. Beneath the soil stretches an unseen web of roots and fungi, humming softly with messages and trade. Above you, leaves breathe light into air. Around you, trunks stand tall and quiet, and below you, a living network binds it all together. The forest is not a set of individuals, it is one great body, connected in silence. Speaking in whispers you cannot hear but can always feel. Breathe one final time with this truth. Inhale the rooted conversation. Exhale the comfort of connection. And as you close this chapter, you carry a reflection. Beneath every step, beneath every forest, lies a world of threads binding life together. Roots do not only anchor, they speak, they share, they weave. You rest tonight knowing that silence is never emptiness. It is conversation, rooted, patient, enduring. You walk through a meadow, the air alive with fragrance. Sweetness drifts from flowers, freshness rises from grass, and the sharp resin of pine lingers on the breeze. To you, these scents may seem like decorations, pleasant extras added to the landscape, but in truth, they are messages. They are words written not in sound, but in chemistry. Part of a language plants have been speaking for millions of years. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. The air carries stories. Each fragrance is a sentence, each perfume a phrase. Plants talk to one another, not with voices, but with molecules carried by the wind. Inhale the meadow's words. Exhale your listening. This language becomes clearest when danger arrives. Imagine a caterpillar chewing the leaf of a tree. The damage is small, but the tree does not remain silent. It releases volatile organic compounds, tiny molecules that float into the air, drifting toward nearby plants. These neighbors detect the signal and respond by strengthening their own defenses, thickening leaves, producing bitter chemicals to deter the same attacker. One tree's wound becomes the forest's warning. Pause here. Inhale the scent of warning. Exhale the wisdom of response. You are standing inside a chemical conversation. Even the scent of freshly cut grass, sharp and green, is more than a fragrance. It is a cry, a signal of distress. Molecules released from torn blades tell neighboring plants to prepare, to brace against further harm. To human senses, the smell is pleasant, almost nostalgic, but to the plants, it is alarm words carried invisibly, shaping responses, weaving survival into the community. Flowers, too, are speakers in this language. Their perfumes attract pollinators, guiding bees, butterflies, and birds with invisible trails of scent. Each flower's fragrance is a message, announcing nectar, offering reward. To us, the sweetness is beauty. To the pollinator, it is instruction. A rose says, "Come here." A lavender says, "This way." The air becomes a map, marked not by lines, but by molecules drifting in silence. Breathe gently. Inhale the sweetness of invitation. Exhale the reciprocity of touch. Fragrance is both beauty and guidance. The pine tree tells its own story. When attacked by beetles, it releases resinous chemicals into the air. These not only deter the beetles, but also attract insects that prey on them. The tree calls for allies, using scent as signal. Danger becomes strategy. Language becomes defense. The tree does not shout or run, but it speaks, and its words summon help. Think of this as you wander. The scents around you are not background. They are communication, invisible conversations written in air. Pause once more. Inhale the forest's strategies. Exhale your wonder at its patience. Science has only recently begun to decode this language. Sensitive instruments reveal the molecules drifting from leaves, flowers, and roots. Experiments show that plants detect and respond to them with precision. A field of crops attacked by pests will trigger defenses not just in the plants being eaten, but in those nearby, warned in advance. The field is not a collection of individuals, but a chorus. And beyond defense, plants use chemistry to shape relationships. Roots release compounds that attract helpful fungi, repel harmful bacteria, or even suppress competing plants. Each molecule is a message, shaping the soil into community. Above ground and below, the dialogue continues, persistent, patient, profound. Breathe again. Inhale the chemical chorus. Exhale your awe at the unseen. You are surrounded by languages you cannot hear, yet they sustain your life. There is poetry here, too. For if plants speak with chemicals, then every breath you take is part of their language. The oxygen filling your lungs is itself a message, a gift of photosynthesis, an ongoing dialogue between leaf and body. You do not stand outside this conversation, you are inside it, participant and partner. Imagine yourself as translator. The scent of jasmine is not only beauty, it is invitation. The tang of pine is not only freshness, is resilience. The green sharpness of cut grass is not only memory, it. You breathe these messages in, not fully understanding, but still affected. They change your mood, stir your memories, shape your emotions. The plant's words touch you, even if you do not know their alphabet. Pause here. Inhale the jasmine's invitation. Exhale the pine's strength. Mystery does not prevent connection. This truth carries metaphor into your own life. You, too, communicate in ways unseen through gestures, expressions, silences. A glance across a room, a hand placed gently on another's shoulder. A pause in a conversation, all are messages no less real than words. Plants remind you that communication is not only sound, it is presence. It is fragrance. It is the invisible thread of connection woven through the air. Think of the relationships you hold. Some are spoken loudly, with clear words. Others are quieter, carried in tone, in gesture, in silence. These, too, are languages subtle, invisible, but powerful. Like plants, you speak and listen in ways beyond words. Breathe slowly. Inhale the unsaid. Exhale the understood. Connection does not always require speech. As you rest tonight, imagine yourself lying in a meadow. Around you, grasses whisper their alarms, flowers send their invitations, trees release their strategies. The air is filled with chemistry, with signals carried unseen. You are not outside the dialogue. With each breath, you participate. The forest breathes into you, and you breathe back into it. The conversation is endless, quiet, and essential. Breathe one final time with this vision. Inhale the perfume of the meadow. Exhale your place within its language. And as you close this chapter, you carry a reflection. Fragrance is not only beauty, is meaning. The scents of the world are words of the earth, messages written in molecules, conversations carried on the wind. You rest tonight in the language of chemicals, listening to whispers too quiet for ears, but clear enough for the heart at first glance. Plants seem like the very definition of stillness. Trees stand silent, flowers hold their place, and grasses sway only when wind insists. Yet this impression is an illusion created by your hurried eyes. For plants do move, though their dance is slower, more patient, less obvious. They shift not in leaps but in gestures stretched across hours, days, or seasons. And in their movements lies a choreography as subtle and elegant as any ballet. Close your eyes and picture a vine. At its tip, the tendril curves and waves, searching the air with invisible sensitivity. It reaches outward, spiraling slowly until it finds something solid, a branch, a trellis, a neighboring plant. Then it coils around, gripping tightly, climbing higher toward the sun. Though the motion is slow, it is purposeful, as if the plant were extending a hand. Breathe slowly. Inhale the patience of the vine. Exhale the persistence of its climb. Flowers, too, are dancers. Many open and close with the rhythm of light, spreading wide to greet the sun, folding shut in darkness or rain. Some turn their heads across the day, tracking the sun's arc in a movement called helios. Imagine standing in a field of sunflowers. Each golden face follows the light, swaying in slow unison, like an audience watching the same performer in the sky. To human time, the flowers seem still, but sped up. Their bodies reveal a dance of devotion. Pause here. Inhale the sunflowers turning. Exhale the rhythm of the sun. Even silence carries choreography. Leaves fold and unfold. To some, like those of the sensitive mimosa, respond instantly. Touch them, and they collapse, folding inward as though shy of your hand. Others respond more, gradually raising themselves in light, drooping in shade, adjusting to maximize their harvest of energy. A forest canopy is not static. It is a shifting mosaic of leaves, angling, repositioning, whispering to the sun. Breathe gently. Inhale, the shy leaves retreat. Exhale, the forest's patience. The still world is not still at all. And then there are plants that move with startling speed, shattering your assumptions. The Venus flytrap waits, its leaves open like green jaws. When an insect brushes its sensitive hairs twice in quick succession, the trap snaps shut, imprisoning the visitor. This movement is not muscle but pressure, cells releasing stored energy like springs, slamming the leaf closed. What seems passive becomes predatory. A reminder that stillness can hide sudden power. Other carnivorous plants move differently. Sundews hold their tentacled leaves, dotted with sticky droplets. When an insect lands, the leaf curls inward, wrapping slowly around its prey. The motion is patient, deliberate, inescapable. Even in the plant kingdom, motion becomes strategy. Pause once more. Inhale the snap of the trap. Exhale the curl of the sundew. Movement here is both survival and art. The hidden mechanics of these movements are elegant. Plants do not have muscles, as you do. They move by shifting water pressure within their cells. By pumping ions in or out, cells swell or shrink, and the plant bends. Over time, this creates arcs, spirals, openings, and closings. What looks like stillness is constant adjustment, written in the quiet language of water. Imagine this as you rest. Within every stem and leaf is a choreography of pressure, invisible yet constant. Water flows, cells swell, tissues bend. The plant is not motionless. It is a dancer with a rhythm too slow for your eyes to follow. Breathe again. Inhale the hidden pulse of water. Exhale the unseen flow of life. Even seeds move, though their journey is not by limbs, but by strategy. Some burst open, flinging seeds into the air with sudden force. Others release seeds that spin, like helicopters, drifting on the wind. Some hitch rides on animals, clinging to fur or feathers, moving as stowaways. In each case, the plant stretches beyond its roots, ensuring life continues in motion. The patience of roots does not forbid movement, it transforms it into creativity. Pause gently. Inhale the leap of the seed. Exhale the drift of the wind. Even in dispersal, the dance continues. These movements, though slow, change landscapes. Vines reshape forests as they climb. Flowers paint fields by turning. Roots alter soil as they push through. What seems unmoving is a constant flow of reaching, adjusting, responding. Plants do not need speed to be alive. They prove that patience is its own form of motion, and in this truth lies metaphor. Your own movements are not always visible. Growth may happen quietly, stretched across years, invisible day to day. Yet, like a vine, you reach, spiraling patiently until you find support. Like a sunflower, you turn, following the light across the horizon of your life. Like a seed, you drift, carried by winds you cannot control, yet still finding soil in which to grow. Breathe once more. Inhale the patience of growth. Exhale the trust in time. As you rest tonight, imagine yourself lying in a meadow. Around you, flowers turn their faces, vines stretch outward, leaves adjust in silence. A Venus flytrap waits, sundews curl, seeds drift into the air. You see none of this in ordinary time, but in your mind's eye, sped up, the meadow becomes a stage. Every plant moves, every leaf dances, every root gestures. You are surrounded by choreography, alive in every direction. Breathe one final time with this vision. Inhale the meadow's dance. Exhale your place within it. Plants are not still. They are dancers of patience, choreographers of light, architects of quiet motion. Their slowness is not silence, but song. You rest tonight in the company of plants that move. Their slow motion dance, reminding you that life is always in motion, even when it seems still in the palm of your hand. A seed seems small, insignificant, a speck compared to the tree it might become. It can be carried by wind, hidden in soil, or tucked away in the fold of a bird's feather. Yet within it lies an archive, a library of instructions, a memory older than your life, older than your species, older even than the forests themselves. Each seed carries a memory not of thoughts, but of patterns. Written in DNA, coiled tightly within, is the knowledge of how to sprout, how to grow, how to shape leaves and roots and flowers. A seed does not need a teacher. It does not consult a map. It remembers. Planted in darkness, it knows which way is down, where to send its first root. It knows which way is up, how to stretch toward light it has never seen. Breathe slowly. Inhale the patience of the seed. Exhale the certainty of its memory. Seeds are time capsules. They hold not only the pattern of their species, but also the timing of their awakening. Some sprout quickly when rain touches them. Others wait for years, even centuries, sleeping until fire, frost, or flood breaks their shell. They remember not only how to live, but when to begin. Their memory is not urgency, but wisdom, tuned to the cycles of earth. Imagine a desert seed buried in dry soil. It waits, sometimes for decades, until rain finally comes. Then, as though a switch is thrown, it wakes, drinks, grows, blooms, and scatters new seeds in a matter of days. It has remembered the rhythm of the desert, the patience, the brief abundance, the return to silence. Pause here. Inhale the seeds, patience. Exhale the desert's rhythm. Life waits as much as it acts. Some seeds cross unimaginable distances. Carried by ocean currents, they travel for months across salt water, only to wash ashore and sprout on foreign land. A coconut seed floats, yet inside it still remembers its palm, its fronds, its fruit. The memory is portable, unbroken by waves or storms. The seed may tumble for miles, yet when it meets soil, it remembers itself fully. And then there are seeds that last almost forever. In frozen tundra, in buried soil, in ancient stores, seeds can remain alive for thousands of years. Scientists once found a seed locked in Siberian permafrost for over 30 millennia. They planted it, and it bloomed. Imagine that memory carried across ice ages, held in silence, then waking into bloom in a world transformed. The seed remembered what the earth had long since forgotten. Breathe again. Inhale the endurance of frozen memory. Exhale the wonder of its awakening. The memory of seeds is genetic, written in spirals of DNA. These spirals are like sentences made of only 4 letters, repeating yet infinite in their combinations. Each seed carries its story in this alphabet. How many leaves it will have, what shape its flowers will take, how tall it might grow, when it will bloom, everything is there. It is not written in words you can read, but in codes cells understand perfectly. The seed holds its future in memory, hidden yet precise. But seeds carry more than just instructions. They carry resilience. Within their shells, they store energy, starches, and oils, enough to sustain the first days of growth. Like a child carrying a packed lunch into a new world, the seed begins with resources from its past. This stored energy gives the first root the strength to push downward. The first shoot the courage to break upward. Memory here is not only knowledge, but nourishment. Pause once more. Inhale the memory of nourishment. Exhale the courage of beginning. You, too, carry both. Seeds also remember through shape. Some have wings, designed to catch the breeze. Some have hooks, meant to cling to fur. Some are sticky, carried on feathers. Each form is an echo of the environments that shaped it. A maple seed spirals like a helicopter, remembering the wind. A dandelion seed floats on a white parachute, remembering the sky. A burr clings stubbornly, remembering the animals that pass by. Memory is not only written inside, is written outside, sculpted into the seed's very body. Imagine a dandelion in spring. Its bright yellow bloom fades into a globe of white fluff, each seed crowned with a parachute. A breeze comes, and they lift into the air, drifting, spinning, scattering. Each one holds memory inside its shell, but also in its form, remembering to ride the wind. The air itself becomes an ally in their journey. Breathe gently. Inhale the lift of the wind. Exhale the scattering of seeds. Memory becomes movement. The metaphor of seeds extends beyond science. You, too, carry memory within you, not only of your own life, but of generations past. Written in your DNA are instructions from ancestors who lived before history, knowledge shaped by environments you never saw. Like the seed, you are archive and future both. You sprout into the world carrying invisible stories. Inherited resilience, timing shaped by lives long gone. Think of the way you sometimes act without knowing why. The way instincts guide you. Think of the resilience you inherit from those who survived before you. The way endurance runs in your blood. Like seeds, you awaken at the right moment, guided by memories you did not choose, but still carry. Breathe again. Inhale the strength of your inheritance. Exhale the mystery of memory. Seeds remind you that beginnings are not made from nothing. Every sprout is the unfolding of a past. Every bloom the expression of an ancient memory. When you plant a seed, you are not only starting something new, you are continuing a story that began long before. The sprout is the present tense of a history whispered in silence. And seeds teach you that darkness is not the end. They begin in soil, buried unseen. They do not fear the dark, for the dark is their cradle. There, hidden from view, memory awakens. Roots push downward, shoots push upward, all guided by knowledge older than light. You, too, may find beginnings in darkness, hidden times of waiting, times when nothing seems visible. Yet, in those moments, memory stirs, preparing you for the light. Pause here. Inhale the cradle of darkness. Exhale the trust of awakening. The unseen is often the beginning. As you rest tonight, imagine holding a single seed in your palm. It is small, quiet, unassuming. Yet within it lies a tree, a flower, a field, a forest. Within it lies memory, timing, pattern, nourishment, resilience. It waits patiently, not rushing, not doubting. When the time is right, it awakens, remembering exactly how to grow. Breathe one final time with this truth. Inhale the patience of the seed. Exhale the certainty of its unfolding. Seeds are not only beginnings, they are memories wrapped in shells, archives of life itself. They teach you that nothing begins without history, and nothing grows without memory. You rest tonight in the memory of seeds carried quietly across time, always remembering how to reach for the light. You step into a garden at dawn, and the world seems still. Yet, with the rising sun, petals open like soft mouths, releasing fragrance into the air. The flowers are not passive ornaments. They are calling, inviting, speaking in colors and perfumes, in sweetness hidden within their throats. Their voices are not sound but beauty, and their listeners are not only you but bees, birds, bats, and countless insects. Close your eyes and imagine a single bloom. Its petals glow with color, saturated by pigments that catch sunlight. To you, they are red, yellow, purple, blue. To a bee, they are patterns of ultraviolet glowing guides, invisible to your eye, but clear as arrows. Each flower wears a signpost for its partners, marking the path to nectar. Breathe slowly. Inhale the invitation of fragrance. Exhale the patience of waiting petals. The relationship between flowers and pollinators is ancient and essential. Flowers cannot walk. They cannot carry their pollen themselves. Instead, they beckon animals to do the work. Bees brush against anthers, their fuzzy bodies catching pollen, then carry it unknowingly to the next bloom. Hummingbirds dart, sipping nectar, their long beaks dusted with golden grains. Bats sweep through tropical nights, wings stirring air as they drink from pale blossoms that glow faintly in the dark. Each visitor becomes messenger, carrying life between flowers, stitching plants into continuity. Pause here. Inhale the hum of wings. Exhale the movement of pollen. Beauty travels through the air. The language of flowers is layered. Color is one dialect, fragrance another, nectar the final promise. Some flowers smell sweet, a lure for bees or butterflies. Others smell sour, even foul, to attract flies. Orchids mimic the scent of female insects, tricking males into attempting mating, dusting them with pollen in the process. Each bloom adapts its language to its audience, a dialogue of survival disguised as beauty. Imagine a meadow in full bloom. Colors scatter across the field: scarlet poppies, golden sunflowers, violet thistles. Each one calls to its chosen partners, each one tuned to its visitors. The meadow is not chaos, but chorus, a layered conversation between plant and animal. Silence filled with color and scent. Breathe gently. Inhale the meadow's chorus. Exhale your wonder at its harmony. The reward offered is nectar, a liquid gift of sugar, energy distilled from sunlight. Bees drink and carry it back to hives, transforming it into honey. Birds sip it to fuel their endless flight. Butterflies pause delicately, sipping through long tongues. The flower gives sweetness, and in return receives movement, its pollen carried onward. This is reciprocity, a pact between stillness and motion. Think of the orchid again. Some produce no nectar, yet still entice with mimicry or beauty. They deceive their pollinators, and still the exchange occurs. Communication, even when imperfect, continues. What matters is the thread of life carried forward, seed to seed, generation to generation. Pause once more. Inhale the sweetness of nectar. Exhale the persistence of life. Beauty is not decoration, it is strategy. Humans, too, are drawn to flowers, though our role as pollinators is small compared to bees or bats. Still, the call of beauty reaches us. We grow gardens, carry bouquets, admire blossoms. We, too, are moved by their colors and perfumes. Perhaps we are not their intended partners, but we have become allies nonetheless. In cultivating them, we extend their reach, scattering seeds across continents, weaving them into our own rituals of love, mourning, and celebration. Breathe again. Inhale the rose's perfume. Exhale the sunflower's face. Beauty binds even us. This partnership between plant and animal shaped the earth itself. Whole ecosystems depend on it. Without pollinators, flowers would not set fruit, seeds would not spread, and countless species would falter. Without flowers, pollinators would starve. The two are not separate, they are halves of a single rhythm, one feeding the other, one carrying the other. Together, they built the diversity of life you see today. Imagine yourself shrinking to the size of a bee. The garden becomes immense. Towers of petals rise around you, glowing with ultraviolet runes. Scents drift like trails in the air, guiding your flight. Each landing is both meal and mission. You are not aware of your role, but you are part of it. Messenger, link, participant in the silent conversation of flowers. Pause gently. Inhale the bee's perspective. Exhale the flower's patience. Both live in the same exchange. The metaphor stretches into your life. You, too, send signals through beauty, through gesture, through presence. You, too, rely on unseen messengers, friends, words, acts of kindness that carry your life into others. The flower does not know where its pollen will land, only that sending it outward is enough. You, too, cannot know the reach of your actions, yet each one may carry life, connection, meaning farther than you imagine. As you rest tonight, picture a night garden. Pale flowers open in moonlight, releasing fragrance into the dark. Bats sweep through, wings whispering. Moths hover, sipping delicately. In the silence, communication continues, unseen but real. Beauty itself is the language, and messengers carry it onward. Breathe one last time with this vision. Inhale the fragrance of blossoms. Exhale the hum of wings. And as you close this chapter, you carry a reflection. Flowers do not bloom only for decoration. They bloom to speak, to invite. Their beauty is communication, their perfume a sentence, their nectar a promise. You rest tonight in the thought that beauty itself is language, and the world is full of whispers carried on wings. You step into a forest, and at first it seems like a gathering of individual trunks standing apart, each tree rising with its own shape, its own bark, its own canopy. Yet, as you linger, breathing in the green air, you begin to sense something deeper. The forest is not a crowd. It is one body, one organism, spread across acres, bound not only by soil and sky, but by threads of connection weaving every life together. Breathe slowly. Inhale the quiet presence of trunks. Exhale the unseen network beneath your feet. The canopy above forms its own unity. Leaves of many trees overlap and intermingle, catching sunlight and scattering it in shifting patterns. Shade is shared, not hoarded. One tree leans slightly, allowing its neighbor to rise straighter. Another stretches wide, filling space others leave open. From above, the canopy appears like a single green skin, stretched and breathing, exchanging light with air. Beneath your feet, roots stretch outward, some thick and anchoring, others thin and thread-like. They reach far beyond their own trunk, touching and intertwining with roots of other trees. Through these contacts, water and nutrients are shared. Older, stronger trees send carbon to younger seedlings, shaded in the dark, sustaining them until they are strong enough to reach light. The forest's generosity is not metaphor, it is chemistry. Pause here. Inhale the generosity of roots. Exhale the patience of seedlings. The fungal network weaves even deeper. Mycorrhizal fungi form threads finer than hair, spreading through the soil like lace. These filaments connect roots to roots, tree to tree, plant to plant. Scientists call it the wood wide web. Through it, nutrients and signals pass, messages of stress or abundance, warnings of drought or disease. The forest speaks in chemicals, in sugars and proteins, in whispers no ear can hear. Imagine shrinking down into the soil, becoming small enough to walk these threads. Around you stretch glowing filaments, a web spanning the forest floor. Roots pulse with exchange, sending sugars outward, drawing minerals inward. The fungi hum like quiet circuits, carrying the language of survival. Above ground, you see many trunks. Below, you see one network, one body. Breathe gently. Inhale the hum of the fungi. Exhale the truth of oneness. This unity shapes resilience. When drought comes, roots redistribute water. When pests attack, chemical warnings travel through the network, priming defenses. When one tree falls, its decay feeds countless others, its body transformed into nourishment for seedlings. Death itself becomes circulation, life folding back into the organism. The forest is not many separate lives. It is a single life, shifting its form. Pause once more. Inhale the resilience of the body. Exhale the continuity of its breath. Even the animals belong to this body. Birds carry seeds from one part of the forest to another. Bees and butterflies weave pollen across distances. Deer feed on understory plants, shaping growth, their waste returning nutrients to soil. Predators balance the populations, maintaining the web. Each creature may seem independent, yet each functions as an organ of the forest, contributing to its wholeness. Consider the air itself. Every leaf exhales oxygen, and every creature inhales it. Every breath is part of the circulation, as if the forest were one great lung. The mist rising in the morning is like the body's exhalation, carrying moisture into the air, feeding clouds that will return as rain. The weather and the forest, too, are part of one cycle, one metabolism stretched across sky and soil. Breathe again. Inhale the lung of the canopy. Exhale the cloud of the forest's breath. For you, the lesson is clear. Individuality is real, but so is belonging. Just as no tree stands apart from the network, you do not stand apart from the communities that sustain you. You are woven into families, friendships, ecosystems of care. Food on your table comes from countless hands and fields. The air you breathe comes from forests far away. The forest reminds you that separateness is an illusion, and survival is always collective. Imagine lying on the forest floor, your back against moss, your gaze toward the canopy. You feel the pulse of roots beneath you, the shade of leaves above, the hum of fungi around. You are inside a body larger than yourself, carried by rhythms older than memory. The forest is not collection, but communion. Pause gently. Inhale the communion. Exhale your belonging. Even science confirms what ancient cultures always sensed. The forest is alive as a whole. Indigenous traditions often speak of trees as relatives, of forests as elders, of plants as kin. Modern research finds the proof beneath microscopes and sensors, tracing sugars and signals, measuring the cooperation. Yet whether spoken as myth or measured as fact. The truth is the same. A forest is one body, and in this truth lies comfort. For if the forest can hold together, weathering storms, droughts, and centuries, then perhaps you, too, can lean into your own networks. You are not meant to carry life alone. You are sustained by threads unseen, by connections that whisper strength into your roots. As you rest tonight, imagine the forest breathing. The canopy rises and falls with wind. Roots pulse with water. Fungi hum with signals. Birds carry messages through flight. The whole body shifts, yet remains whole. You are not outside this body. You are within it, breathing its air, nourished by its gifts, listening to its whispers. Breathe one final time with this vision. Inhale the body of the forest. Exhale the unity of life. What seems like many is often one. A forest is not trees alone, but a body stitched together in silence. You rest tonight in its embrace, knowing that every green voice is part of a single breath. You sit beneath the shade of a tree, and before long, you notice your breath slowing. The rustle of leaves softens the noise in your mind, and the pattern of sunlight falling through branches steadies your heart. The effect is subtle, but it is real. Plants do not only feed you with oxygen and food, they soothe you. To be near green is to be near healing. Close your eyes and picture a meadow, grass swaying in the wind, wildflowers scattering color across the field. As you imagine yourself walking through it, your body responds as if truly there. Muscles release their tension, your shoulders drop, your lungs expand with ease. Science confirms what you feel. The presence of plants changes you. Green is not only color, it is medicine for the spirit. Breathe slowly. Inhale the calm of the meadow. Exhale the release of worry. Modern studies show that time in nature lowers blood pressure, reduces stress hormones, and strengthens the immune system. A walk in a forest is not just exercise, it is therapy. Patients recover faster in hospitals when they can see trees outside their windows. Children concentrate more easily when they learn near green spaces. The rhythm of plants reshapes the rhythm of bodies. Imagine a busy city, its streets crowded, its noise constant. Yet, in the center lies a park, a patch of green. People wander there, sit on benches, walk slowly beneath trees. The park becomes a sanctuary, its grass and leaves absorbing stress as surely as they absorb carbon dioxide. One step inside, and the mind begins to settle. Pause here. Inhale the calm of green. Exhale the rush of concrete. The healing power of plants is not only physical light, is emotional. Colors of green remind you of growth, of renewal, of life itself. The scent of pine sharpens focus. The fragrance of lavender softens anxiety. Even houseplants by your desk can shift your mood, offering companionship without words. Their presence is quiet but profound, reminding you that life surrounds and supports you. Think of moss covering a stone in shade. It offers no fruit, no flower, no utility at first glance. Yet simply seeing its softness soothes you. Its texture invites peace. Its color whispers patience. Healing is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is as gentle as the presence of green. Breathe gently. Inhale the softness of moss. Exhale the weight you carry. In Japan, there is a practice called Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. It is not bathing in water, but in atmosphere, immersing oneself in trees, breathing their air, walking among them with presence. This simple act lowers stress, strengthens immunity, and restores balance. Science measures the benefits in hormones and heartbeats, but the soul feels it in silence and belonging. You, too, can practice this. Step outside, breathe with the trees, listen to leaves, let your senses absorb the atmosphere. The forest offers not instruction but presence, and presence heals. Pause once more. Inhale the forest air. Exhale into its embrace. The healing power of green extends beyond forests. A garden can do the same. To kneel in soil, to plant a seed, to watch it grow, this, too, is medicine. Gardening lowers anxiety, strengthens hands and heart, and connects you to cycles larger than yourself. Even a single potted plant on a windowsill becomes companion, offering freshness, patience, and renewal. Imagine caring for such a plant. You water it, turn it toward the sun, brush its leaves gently. In return, it thrives, its green brightening your space. The act is mutual. In tending the plant, you tend yourself. Its growth mirrors your own. Breathe again. Inhale the care you give. Exhale the care you receive. The healing power of green is ancient. Long before hospitals, people turned to herbs and leaves for medicine. Willow bark soothed pain. Mint calmed the stomach. Aloe cooled burns. Plants remain the basis of many medicines today, their chemistry woven into healing practices. Yet even without extraction or pill, the simple presence of the plant is restorative. To sit in a garden is to take medicine for the spirit, and beyond science there is mystery. Why should the sight of leaves calm the heart? Why should the sound of rustling trees ease the mind? Perhaps it is because your body remembers. For most of human history, survival depended on plants for food, for shelter, for fire, for healing. To see green was to see safety. Your ancestors carried that memory, and so do you. Green is reassurance, written into your bones. Pause gently. Inhale the memory of survival. Exhale into trust. You are home in Green Dot. As you rest tonight, imagine lying beneath a canopy. The air is cool, scented with leaves. Light filters softly through branches, dappled and gentle. Your body settles into the earth. Your heart slows to the rhythm of trees. You are being healed not by words, not by effort, but by presence. Breathe one last time with this truth. Inhale the gift of green. Exhale your belonging to it. Plants do not only sustain your body with food and air, they sustain your spirit with calm, your mind with balance, your heart with peace. To be near plants is to be near healing. You rest tonight in the embrace of green. Cradled by its quiet power, you lie down, and the day softens around you. The rush of thought slows, the air becomes steady, and you notice your own breath, the gentle rhythm that carries you into rest. With each inhale, you take in something ancient, something silent yet alive. With each exhale, you return a part of yourself to the world. What you breathe is not yours alone. It is a whisper shared with plants, a rhythm older than memory, a cycle unbroken since the beginning of life. Every breath you take is a gift from leaves. The oxygen filling your lungs was crafted in silence, spun out of sunlight by chlorophyll's patient hands. A forest exhales, and you inhale. A meadow breathes, and you carry it within. The exchange is intimate, constant, unspoken. Plants whisper through your bloodstream, feeding every cell, sustaining every thought. Their presence is not outside of you. Inhale the whisper of leaves. Exhale the echo of your life. Food, too, is their whisper. The fruits and grains that sustain you are stories written in green, sunlight captured and folded into matter. Bread is the echo of fields. Apples are the sweetness of blossoms made solid. Even the energy in meat carries the memory of leaves, for all life begins with photosynthesis. Every movement of your muscles, every beat of your heart is powered by light that once touched a leaf. Plants do not only shape the air you carry, their whispers as nourishment, as energy, as self. Imagine holding a seed in your hand. Within it lies a memory of forests, a design for growth, a promise of renewal. When planted, it remembers how to awaken, how to push roots into dark soil, how to reach toward light. Its leaves will one day release oxygen into the air. Its fruit will carry sweetness, and its body will feed soil when it falls. The seed does not only whisper to the future, it whispers to you, reminding you that you, too, are cycle, that life is never separate. Pause here. Inhale the patience of the seed. Exhale your trust in its memory. When you breathe at night, you are not alone. The forest is breathing with you. The grasses in fields, the moss on stones, the algae in oceans. Half the oxygen in your lungs tonight was made by tiny phytoplankton drifting in waves. Half was made by trees and leaves on land. Across Earth, countless green voices exhale in silence, carrying life to your body. Their whispers are constant, even as you sleep. And when you exhale, you return carbon, a gift for them. What seems like waste to you is food to them. They take your exhalation and fold it back into sugar, into stem and leaf, into bloom and fruit. The cycle continues without end. You breathe them, they breathe you. The partnership is not metaphor, it is chemistry, reality, intimacy. Breathe gently. Inhale their gift. Exhale your offering. The whisper you breathe is not only physical, it is emotional, spiritual, too. To walk in a forest, to sit in a garden, to stand in a field of grass is to be reminded of belonging. Your heart slows in green spaces, your mind quiets, your body heals. Plants do not speak, but they soothe. Their silence becomes presence, their stillness becomes balm. The whisper you breathe carries calm, as well as air. Imagine lying beneath a canopy at dusk. Leaves glow faintly with the last light. The air is cool, the ground soft. As you breathe, you feel the trees breathing, 2 millions of tiny mouths on their leaves opening and closing, exchanging air with the world. You are not separate. You are a participant, part of a chorus, too vast to hear, in full, yet unmistakable in rhythm. Pause once more. Inhale the chorus of leaves. Exhale your place within it. Even your body itself is memory of plants. The atoms within you, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, once moved through forests and fields. The calcium in your bones was drawn up by roots long before it entered your form. You are stitched together from whispers carried across ages. Matter cycled endlessly through green hands. When you breathe, when you eat, when you rest, you return to this truth. You are not outside the cycle. You are the cycle. Seeds remember how to sprout. Forests remember how to share. Flowers remember how to call their pollinators. Roots remember how to reach. Leaves remember how to breathe. And you, too, remember sometimes faintly, sometimes deeply, that you belong here. Mystery surrounds you, but within it, the whisper of plants continues, steady and enduring. Breathe again. Inhale the memory of belonging. Exhale the illusion of separateness. As you prepare for sleep, the cycle continues. While you dream, oxygen will move through you, carbon will leave you, and the plants outside will answer. You and they breathe together, exchanging without pause, whispering across darkness. You fall asleep not alone, but inside a conversation as old as earth. A language without words that still binds you. Imagine the last moments of your day. You close your eyes. The air is cool. Your chest rises and falls. Somewhere a leaf opens. A root drinks. A flower folds into night. Somewhere else, phytoplankton drift, releasing breath into the sea. Countless voices join, and together they enter you. Every breath you take is a reply, every exhale a gift. You rest in this exchange, part of one unbroken whisper. Breathe one final time with this vision. Inhale the gift of plants. Exhale the cycle you share. Asterisk, the whisper you breathe is not only air, it is life, memory, and connection. Plants live in you as surely as you live because of them. In sleep, you do not stop this rhythm, you join it more deeply. Carried on the breath of leaves, roots, flowers, and seeds, you rest tonight with this truth. Every breath is a whisper, and in that whisper, you are never alone.